Okay.
And Leanna Henry.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, my name is Peggy, and I would like to welcome you to today's service. We will begin our service with opening meditation, followed by mandate. Please join me in placing your hands together in Darshan. Namu Amida Butsu.
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 Namu. We have some visitors today that I would like to acknowledge. They are Alicia, Lauren, Alana, and Eric. You will please stand. Welcome. Please rise to the singing of the Gaza, Happy Little Children, on page 166, verses 1 through 3 of the service book, followed by a recitation of the Golden Chain, and then move to on page 5.
Golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu.
Please join in the chanting of the Sutra Du Ye on page 95 of the service book. During the Sutra chanting, we will have a shuffle or incense offering by the following: Dharma School student Marissa Yu, adult Mr. Ken Hamamoto.
We will now listen to a Dharma message by Reverend Candace Shibata. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to see all of you today. And to be quite honest, I was actually getting a little bit nervous because of the recent rain that we just had. And I was thinking back on the storms that we had in the beginning of the year, which took out a lot of power. And in fact, my power was off for a good 24 hours at my home. And many trees had fallen down. And so I'm sure many of you still remember maybe some of the difficulties that yourself or other people have experienced during this time. So as I mentioned, there were quite a few trees that had fallen down during the previous storm. And as I was driving home from our New Year's Eve service, and I was traveling down Hammer Lane, and all of a sudden from the other side of the road, the trees started falling down in front of me. And if you have driven down Hammer Lane, you know that these trees are very, very big and very tall. And fortunately, I was far enough back to be able to stop. However, there was another car that she was driving alongside of me. And as she was going, she hit and slammed into the tree on mostly the top of the branches. However, it scared to drive through these trees, this tree that had fallen down, and we both stopped on the side of the road, and I was able to ask if she was okay. And luckily, she was able to drive her car home, but as I rolled my window down on the passenger side, I said, "Oh my goodness, are you okay? Is there anything that I can do for you?" And so I reached my hand out, and she took my hand too, and her hand was just shaking so badly. However, luckily she was okay. But as I made my way home, there was another tree, and the other firefighters, the local firefighters located on Hammer Lane, were already at that fallen tree as well. And so I did indicate there was another one that had fallen down. But as you might have seen, if you passed some of these trees as well, I was actually very surprised to see these very, very big trees and actually how shallow or how short their roots were. I was under the assumption something so big probably had really, really deep, long roots. And so my niece and I were just talking about this, and she was talking to a client of hers, and he said, "I'm assuming because there's not enough rain that these roots are staying very shallow so that they can be close to the top ground, so that they can receive as much water and nutrients as they can closer to the top of the soil." And so that kind of made some sense, that they need as much water and nutrients from the soil and sunlight too, that they're doing the best that they possibly can to be able to get those nutrients. And so quite possibly during the storm, these big, beautiful trees were not necessarily grounded in the soil. And so, and I was just thinking about this, and I wanted to show some pictures. This is what I had seen, that all of these big, beautiful trees had very short roots that were on top of the soil. But my assumption was that maybe a big tree like that was going to have really tall, long roots, really deep into the soil to protect them. And so I was thinking about these trees and the turbulent storms that they've been through, and maybe very similar to our lives as Nembutsu followers, that we must nurture our lives in the Nembutsu teachings and in the Buddha Dharma, so that when we also are experiencing some turbulent times, that we can still remain strong and still stand tall, enough for us to be able to maybe sway back and forth in these turbulent, maybe day-to-day times that we experience. And I think maybe that's what makes bamboo very strong too, that they are able to sway back and forth in the conditions that they're under. So if we can think about this, think about our lives as Nembutsu followers, how do we nurture ourselves in the Buddha Dharma, even on a regular basis when we're not here at the temple? So part of this analogy was to think about even Amida Buddha. So Amida Buddha, the image of Amida Buddha is in our central image that we look at on our services. And Amida Buddha isn't a statue that we worship, but it's an embodiment of wisdom and compassion always in our lives. And sometimes we can't see Amida Buddha, right? We can't see the statue, or we don't always see the 6-character name, the characters of Namu Amida Butsu. But it's very similar to like the sun. So when we have these stormy days, we can't see the sun, all we can see are clouds in our lives. But we always know that the sun is above those clouds, always nourishing us and keeping us alive and keeping us warm, even though on a day-to-day basis during stormy weather, we might be cold and we might experience rain or maybe tears that resemble our sadness too. But remember, Amida Buddha is like the sun, always nourishing us, always guiding us, always providing us with warmth, even though we may not be able to see Amida Buddha. And I think that's something that we can continue to nourish our roots in the Buddha Dharma, our roots as Nembutsu followers, to know that Amida Buddha is always in our lives, comforting, guiding us warm, so that again, when we're faced with rain like we did have just last night, that it's not going to knock us over, that we're going to be able to survive the storm and be very, very, very grateful for the sunny days that we're able to have. And so I'm not really sure how this storm is going to be today. I think there might be some expected rain a little bit later, but how grateful we can be for the sunlight that we're able to have as of right now, to be able to warm our hearts and warm our minds. So with that, will you please join me in the question? Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Thank you, Reverend Candace. We will now have February birthdays. So when your name is called, please come up to the front or shoko and get your cupcake and have it lit by the Okay, for Dharma School students, we have Taiga Matsumoto. Are there any other students with birthdays in February? Okay, for adults, Bob Fuji, Candy Hayashi, Diane Hota, Vaughn Kiragawa, Paul Matsumoto, Karen Oshita, Betsy Shinoda, Sachi Yanokita.
Samuel Liang. And last but not least, Reverend Sandy Shabbat.
Oh. Similar way. I didn't offer incense. Oh. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited for my country. I'm so sorry.
Are there any other adults with February birthdays? Okay, if not, let's sing happy birthday to our dear friend. And thank you to Tad Shibata for providing us up. Okay, for announcements, please join us for Nirvana Day service on February 12th at 10 a.m. Also, today is Yava's famous baked potato sale. Remember to pick up your baked potato in the mini chapel. And I hear there are a limited amount of potatoes for sale today. I think I saw Fred Pocoroba in the foyer selling tickets. So, Reverend Shabbat's online book club will meet on February 22nd at 6:30 p.m. The current read is Buddhism of the Heart. Please email our home and hospital visitation is scheduled for April 8th. If you know of someone who would appreciate a visit, please notify the office by March 15th. Sangha Club is continuing collection of aluminum cans and recyclable plastic bottles. Donations may be left in the white bin under the carport area. Help keep recyclable bottles and cans out of our landfills while supporting one of our youth organizations. And Darlene has an announcement. Good morning. Two real quick things. If you are here for the SBWA meeting, the HVAC system in the gym is down. So if we go in there, we will freeze. So we're going to the Dharma School classroom in room 3 for the SBWA meeting following Shutski service. So please meet over there. The other one is that your Obon Bazaar Steering Committee is contemplating all the options available. If you are on the steering committee, if you could please send me your suggestion as far as the direction of where we should go. I still have quite a few people that have not answered yet, and this will help us get on the right foot as we plan this summer's activities. Also, if you have the time, energy, and eagerness to volunteer to help with the bazaar in any capacity, please contact your affiliated organization so they know you have your support. Or if you are not connected with any affiliated organization, I would love to hear from you, and then we can be sure that we get you set up where you would like to work. Thank you.
Following the service is the February Shotski service. Following the service also, there's the coffee hour. And then coffee hour is also following the Shotski service. Coffee hour will be in the mini chapel. And you can also pick up your baked potato in the mini chapel. On Saturday, February 18 at 1 p.m., the Stockton Japanese American Citizen League is having a day of remembrance. The showing of the no-no gun will be held. Tickets are $10. after the showing, there will be question and answers with the director of the film. Tickets are available to JCL members. I have tickets, Tash Bobby has tickets, Kathy Fujimori, I believe John Fuji, and any other JCL member. Thank you.
Hello again. The Kikagawa family was so kind enough to donate the flowers from their service from yesterday. And so you might have seen them at the entrance of the temple office. So whatever flowers we do have left, if you would like to take some home for your obutsudan or take them to your home to enjoy or the cemetery, please do so. And we thank the Kikagawa family for their kind donation.
Okay, are there any other announcements? Okay, if not, students are dismissed to class. Please observe good etiquette while leaving and offer incense if you haven't already.
We're just gonna peek in really quickly. They may not be first. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning again, everybody. Thank you for your attendance for this month's Trotsky Monthly Memorial Service for February. And to begin today's service, we will chant Sambujo. So I hope you have a handout to be able to participate with me. And this will be followed by the Hyogyakumon and the reading of the names of the deceased for the month of February. We have gathered today to observe our Shotsuki monthly memorial service. This is our memorial service to remember friends and loved ones who have passed away in the month of February. They are Misaburo Aihara, Masako Baba, Ruby Dobana, Chio Eller, Mary Mutsuko Fuji, Shizuma Fuji, Kiyome Junichi Fujimori, Harue Hami Fukano, Misao Fukuhara, Shizue Fukuyama, Catherine Okanda, Alan Hachio, Hamamoto, Alice Ayako Hattori, Toku Hayashi, Alice Higashi, Henry Motoshi Higashi, Nancy Toshie Honda, Sumi Horita, Haji Ota, Hatsue Imada, Ryu Kajioka, Tetsuo Kato, Haruyo Himoto, Joe Kazuo Kishi, Frank Kitagawa, Kikue Kitagawa, Shizuma Kubo, Yoshi Kubo, David Toshio Matsuo, Jintaro Matsuo, Morie Marie Mitsuda, Akira Mizuno, Misao Ne Morodomi, Sadao Morodomi, David Jiro Morinaka, Lillian Nagai, Gonsaku Nakao, Mildred Kimiko Natsuhara, Yasukichi Jack Natsuhara, Toshiko Nishihara, Tokie Nishimoto, Irene Nonaka, Lily Lee Norris, Torao Hei Ogawa, Mabel Mitsuru Okubo, Noel Okuhara, Unosuke Omoto, Ben Shoji Oshima, Helen Oshiro, Saburo Oshita, Sukeichi Oto, Michinobu Saga, Kiyoshi Kei Saiki, Alice Sakata, Frank Sakata, Masayuki Sato, Shizuko Sato, Mura Sekine, Donald Kiyoshi Shinoda, Shizuko Sugano, Roderick Keiji Sugi, Misako Sumida, Richard Dicky Tahara, Richard Masao Takahashi, Tokijiro Honki Takeda, Richard Tanaka, Hiyome Tsugawa, Masao Ueda, Kusako Watanabe, Kinie Yabumoto, Shigeru Richard Yabumoto, Nancy Sachiko Yagi, Bill Masayoshi Yamada, Yoshio Bob Yamada, Noboru Yamanaka, Doichi Yasui, Masaki Sam Yonemura, Ronald Hiroshi Yonemura, Umeko Yoshida, and Masao Duke Yoshimura. We realize in the cherished memories of those we love and have lost, the impermanence of all the world is revealed. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of life's impermanence. May the lights that burn brightly on the altar lead our thoughts to Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Okay, so we will continue the service with the chanting, and please join me in the chanting of Sambutsuge today, and this can be found on page 81. And for those of you who are observing this month's Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service, please offer incense during the sutra chanting.
born, and I was so fortunate to be born to the parents that I was, to be able to live this one and only life that I was able to live or am able to live. But that with that too, I must also face my own death as well. And so again, even though I won't be speaking at Nirvana Day, and we do have a guest speaker, but I do want to share just some of those continuing thoughts of this Shotsky Monkey Memorial Service and with the Nirvana Day coming up. And so some of you may be aware of the Buddha's last days. And of course, I just wanted to just fill you in for a little bit. I apologize if our guest speaker will be talking about this as well. But you might be aware that during the Buddha's last days, he wasn't feeling well, and he was suffering from stomach issues, which were actually very painful. And he didn't complain to others how he was feeling, and he was able to just carry on, being able to go from village to village to be able to share the teachings with the disciples. However, he realized that it wouldn't be right for him without making sure that all of the disciples and followers were, kind of organized and in order. So as the Buddha began to feel a little bit better, he went outside of the monastery to sit down. And you may know of his very devoted companion, Ananda. And Ananda went to the Buddha, who was sitting, and told the Buddha that the sight of seeing the Buddha so very ill made him feel very weak as well, and very however, and a little bit comforting knowing that the Buddha will be instructing the disciples before his passing. The Buddha told Ananda that his life would be coming to an end soon, and that his followers and whoever after I am dead shall be in Ayurveda their refuge. They will be the foremost amongst my monks. And so this might touch upon even that I gave to the church, rooting ourselves in the Buddha Dharma as our guide. So although the Buddha was very to live in India, and he one day probably so grief-stricken knowing that the Buddha would come for others. But of course, being a human being, the Buddha couldn't fulfill this request, as he taught the followers of the teachings that we have to see life as it truly is, and that his life would be coming to an end as well. So this, again, was very, very difficult for Ananda to hear, and he begged the Buddha once again, please do not pass away. The Buddha told him, enough, Ananda, do not beg me. And he told them, whatever truths I taught you, study them and put them into practice, so that the holy life may last long for the good and benefit of many. All component things must grow old and pass away. So work out your salvation with diligence, and at the end of 3 months from this time, the Blessed One will pass away to a close. Be diligent, mindful, and virtuous. Keep watch over your own hearts and all of the Buddha's disciples. If you can imagine, they too were saddened to hear of them forward to give their steps. And although the Buddha used to share the teachings with others, and Watanabe, who was also a minister of all of mine, and he too, despite the fact that he had as much as he could while he was in California before he passed away. So the Buddha and the disciples arrived, and this his name was Kunda, and shared this before, invited the device him, this meal just served to me. And the other food that Kunda had prepared can be given to the other monks. And so after he had eaten, he told Kunda, any dish that's left over, go ahead and bury it in this bowl. And I do not see anyone in the world other than the Blessed One who could digest it if he had eaten this food. And so Kunda, he did bury the leftovers in the ground, and he went down to sit by the Buddha. Then the Buddha taught Kunda the Dharma as well. And the Buddha also praised Kunda for the meal that had refreshed him and strengthened him after his journey. But soon after this, the Buddha began to feel ill again, very similar to what he was suffering from a little while ago, when he had very sharp pains in his stomach. So in an effort to help him, he was able to ease some of his pain. And again, the Buddha decided, I'm going to continue on and share the Dharma with others. So the Buddha then, after taking a trek to another village, took a bath in the river. And he did say, well, now it might happen that some people might make Kunda regret for giving me this meal that made me sick. And he instructed his companion Ananda, please don't let this happen. And you should tell them that the Buddha doesn't blame Kunda for my illness. And so after this, sadly, he did actually pass away. And he was sitting in between two solid trees. And so a while later, Ananda was nowhere to be found. He had just lost his great companion, and he was sitting, weeping and crying. And he thought to himself that he still had so much to learn from his teacher, the Buddha, and he didn't want to pass away. And so he then was able to kind of regain his composure, and told the rest of the monks that, of course, we have to move on. We have to continue going. And as the Buddha said, we have to make the Buddha Dharma, or the teachings, an idol. And so the Buddha was 80 years old at the time of his passing. So which is quite amazing for more than 2,500 years ago to be living until the age of 80. So when I hear again about the story about the Buddha's life and all that he had accomplished, but even his passing, knowing that he was going to pass away, I'm very amazed and in awe of his acceptance that he too was going to pass away. And that's why he truly is an enlightened being. And he realized the truth of life, understood impermanence, and not to cling to this bodily form that we all have. And he was able to comfort his disciples as well, especially Ananda, to tell him, don't cry, it's okay. And so perhaps maybe some of you have heard the song Don't Cry by CeCe Winans, and actually she's a gospel singer. And I wanted to try to play this, but I may not be able to. We're having internet problems because we lost our Zoom folks, so I apologize for Zoom folks. But maybe what I can do is just kind of inform you of the lyrics that really touched my heart. So in the lyrics, it says, don't cry for me, don't shed a tear. But I think when you hear this, and especially when I hear this too, I do want to cry. It does remind me of the days in which I suffered loss in my life, and I had to say goodbye to my loved ones. And it's a gospel song. In the first verse, it says, where the wind will blow. This reminds me, of course, on the letter of them, affect the young and old alike. And the second verse, it goes on to say, The time I shared with you will always be, and when I'm gone, still carry his disciples and followers as well. And I think we can all think about our own departed loved ones and reflect upon maybe the advice that they gave us, or the memories that we were able to share with them, and the memories that we can still think about and recall when we miss them most. And the third verse of the song reminds me of the Buddha's last meal. And again, you would think that the disciples of the Buddha would be very upset, blame Kunda for the death of the Buddha. However, the third verse, it reminds me of the Buddha's kind heart, stating that no one is to blame and his death was meant to be at that particular time. So although the song, in addition to the passing of the Buddha and the loved ones, especially our loved ones in the month of it does make us sad and causes us much grief when we're missing them. But there is hope, beautiful love, and beautiful memories in this life. And in the song that says, this life comes pain. And however, in our loved ones passing, followers of the Buddha too were able to, he was encouraging them that you'll also be rewarded with true enlightenment. And this is a true reward for us to be able to, I hope, provide each and every one of us comfort, even myself when I think about my own death and possibly the fear that I have of passing away. And so, of course, our loved ones will always be with us and guiding us as our personal Buddhas. And that's why I always enjoy chanting our praises of the Buddha in the very beginning, because in addition to Amida Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha, we also call upon the Buddhas of the 10 directions, who are all of our family members and friends in the Dharma as well. So to close my message, I would like to thank you again for attending today's service, but I would like to end with the reading on white ashes. So if you could please bow your head in reflection as this letter is read. On white ashes, and silently contemplating the transient nature of human existence, nothing is more fragile and fleeting in this world than the life of humans. Thus, we have not heard of human life lasting for 10,000 years. Life swiftly passes, and who among us can maintain their form for even 100 years? Whether I go before others or others go before me, whether it be today or whether it be tomorrow, who is to know? Those who leave before us are as countless and as fragile as the drops of dew. Though in the morning we may have radiant health, in the evening we may be white ashes. When the winds of impermanence blow, our eyes are closed forever, and when the last that leaves us, our face loses its color. Though loved ones gather and lament, everything is of no avail. The body is then sent into an open field and vanishes from this world with the smoke of cremation, leaving only the white ashes. There is nothing more real than this truth of life. The fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and the old, and therefore we must, one and all, turn to the teaching of the Buddha and awaken to the ultimate source of life. By so understanding the meaning of death, we shall come to fully appreciate the meaning of this life, which is unrepeatable and thus to be treasured above all else. By virtue of truth and compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of our human existence, and let us live together with the Nambutsu, Namu Amida-butsu in our hearts, humbly and respectfully. Please join me in Nashon. Namu Amida-butsu. Namu Amida-butsu.